What's up everybody, and welcome back to my Michigan Farm Let's Play. Last time we left off, I was having a little bit of trouble with the new truck we bought, trying to get it to be able to service our equipment. Didn't quite have it figured out. I went away, figured it out really quickly. Turns out I had the wrong version of the mod from Blue Modding, just had to download a new version that comes with the toolbox and fuel tank separately. And voila, we have a fully functional service truck. So let's start off by showing off that service truck, and then we'll get down to business, shall we? So you see here we've got our truck pulled up to our John Deere STS Combine. It was definitely in need of service after all that harvesting we just finished in the previous couple of episodes. So let's give this a little demonstration, shall we? So you just walk up, and you'll have to figure out which button it's mapped to, but you push a button, boom, toolbox pops open. And then there's specific keyboard mappings, and it turns out that I've got my truck in the wrong spot. So we'll just have to pull it up a little bit farther, get a little bit closer here. And there we have it. So we can repair $683. And look at that. And if we drive up far enough, we just might be able... No, we'll have to go around the other side to get at the header. So we'll repair our T560 here as well. And so we can, you can see, also customize it. Using this truck as well. Now I'm not quite sure how we would go about just repairing the header. Maybe if we separate it like that. Aha, there we go. So we can do the same with the STS. We'll just separate the header. Bring the truck around here. And we'll just park the truck for now until we have other things we need to repair. I did repair our seeder after finishing the last episode, so let's get down to work. If we check our map here, we've got a whole lot of weeds. We'll have to weed all of 30, most of 20, still some of 29. The helper didn't seem to do a whole lot down on 29. So we'll spray all of these fields for weeds, and then maybe we'll take a look at the prices and figure out if we can make some money. Maybe we'll do some contracts. So we've finished spraying our herbicide on field number 30. We've emptied out the sprayer. And I think that gives us a good opportunity to maybe use this money to place some fertilizer tanks, seed tanks, maybe a herbicide tank. We've got good equipment already. We splurged on that right off the bat. We've got 4 fields. I think we're struggling to keep up with those as it is. So I think we should use that money that we've got to maybe buy a liquid fertilizer tank and a herbicide tank. Make our lives easier, not have to truck pallets, not have to go drive to the store to fill up with seed or herbicide. So we're going to park the Hardy in the shed for now. And let's take a look at what it's going to cost us to buy some placeable tanks. So we've got a few options here. We've got the Meridian fertilizer, lime, and seed bulk bins. They're all solid, so they're not going to help us with the sprayer, but they would be handy. And then we've got these lizard seed, solid fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, herbicide tanks. So I think I'll buy the lizard herbicide tank and liquid fertilizer tank for now. We can always get a solid fertilizer, seed, or lime tank later if we want. We can go with the Meridians at that point or the lizard ones. But for now, I think we'll go with a lizard herbicide tank and a lizard liquid fertilizer tank. Nice and cheap, so they won't cost us much to place, and it'll just make our lives a whole lot easier. So first things first, we'll go with a herbicide tank. Now I'm thinking what I'll do is eventually we can extend this. We can build a little bit more driveway out this way, and I'm thinking I'll place them here, although I could place them right here by this barn, and that would actually work pretty well too. So I'm not sure if there's any specific placement we want to have for this. I think it doesn't really matter much. I just want it to be kind of squared up. So I think we'll place it right about there. Looks great. Now liquid fertilizer, I want to make sure it's far enough away. And actually I think what I'll do is I'll place it down over here. I want to make sure it's kind of in line with the other one. So we'll put it about there. And I think while I'm at it, I'll put a seed tank here as well. For that, I think I'll go with the Meridian. I want to make sure with this one, obviously, the auger is facing out. And we're going to put it a little bit out as well, just to make sure we give ourselves space around the other bins. Beautiful. So now we've got our new tanks all ready to go, looking great, ready to fill her up. So eventually I think we might want to maybe do a little bit of landscaping and paint concrete around there or something like that. But for now, I really like the look of this, and I'm ready to fill up our sprayer with herbicide and get it back out there. And actually, looking at the fact that this one field already has a little bit that's ready to harvest, I think we will maybe fill up with fertilizer first. May as well spray everything with fertilizer. If we look at our map here, field 20 is the one we seeded last, so I'm not at any risk of having it be fully grown before the weeds are done. So I think we'll go ahead, we'll fertilize everything, all 4 fields, and then we'll pick it back up once we've done that, and we'll probably be getting back into more harvest and more selling. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that it would be very helpful if we had GPS on the sprayer. Don't mind not having it for most other things. You can tell easily enough where you've been and where you haven't. But I think we'll bring our service truck over here. We'll install GPS. And may as well repair it while we're at it. So $15,000 to install GPS, but I think it will be well worth the price of admission. Close the toolbox. Get back in our sprayer. Alright, so let's set up a track for our sprayer. I realize we're overlapping a bit, but at least When we get to the end here, we'll be able to tell. There we go. And if we take a look at our coverage, it's perfect. It's exactly what we needed. GPS in action. Fantastic. Oh, this makes life just so much easier. Being able to see exactly where we need to go. Knowing we're getting the exact coverage we need. So as I was driving along, using my newfound GPS technology, I did notice that Gavilon grain still actually, the price is back up to 4,060 for soybeans. So we're going to have to get that truck over there as soon as possible and sell another truckload because, well, that price is just too good to pass up. So we've got our truckload of soybeans and we'll ship them off to Gavilon Grain. See what kind of profit we can turn this time around. The price is still there at 4,060. Once again, we will pull our truck into Gavilon Grain. Well, and just like that, we've got over $500,000. We will take this truck home and see if the price still holds when we get back there. Now, the other thing we do have the option of doing is loading part of the truck with soybeans and part of the truck with canola and selling a little bit of each, which may not be a bad idea. So let's see what we've got left for soybeans. 60,000 soybeans left. So that will pretty much do it for this truckload. We might have one compartment we could fill with canola. How much canola do we have? 98,000, so I think it's probably a good idea if we go ahead and sell a little bit of canola. It's the beauty of these trailers is that we can put different things in them. Although, I wonder if we should sell... No, we should definitely sell the soybeans if the price is good. How's that price looking? Still good at Gavilon Grain. So we'll go try and get these soybeans sold before that price dips. Then we'll take a look at canola prices and see where to go. And then that should be enough to make room in the bin. And let us get on our way with the harvest. Fantastic. Now we just need to figure out where we're going to sell the canola. Looks like right now the best price is at the co-op, so we'll head down to the co-op and sell this one compartment of canola, and then we'll get back to the spraying. Here we are at the co-op. And that ever so nicely puts us just over $800,000. Not too bad for our first harvest. Keeping in mind we've already spent about, probably about $100,000 on the truck and the bins and the fertilizer. GPS for our sprayer. That's quite a bit of cash to think about what we're going to do with it. Just turn that combine around to give us a little more space to park the truck in the shed. I do want to make sure that we get this off the field before the crops get any larger and we start destroying them. I also will need to refill this once again. We'll need a solid fertilizer bin for that, which I did not buy yet. But for now, we can just park this off to the side and we'll worry about that a little bit later. So as we are starting our final field with the fertilizer, I'm going to start taking a look at what I want to buy with the $800,000 we made from our last harvest. I don't believe we need any more crop protection items. I think this sprayer is working fine, especially with the GPS. We'll be good with that. I think the one thing we might want to do is get a second seeder. If we could seed 2 fields at once, it would really get us going, because we don't need another combine, I don't believe. Could get the custom modding S700 or something like that, but I don't think that we want another combine. I think the 2 we've got are doing us quite well for now. So I do believe a seeder would be our best option. Now we could look in the planters and take a look at these John Deeres. 36 meters wide, it'll do sunflowers, soybeans, corn, potatoes, or sugar beets. Could also go with the 27 meter version. Or we could go with just another of the same seeders. Or maybe that big seed hawk. No matter what we do, it's going to result in the need for a better, another large tractor. That's 36 meters, so that's even bigger actually than the seed hawk, and it needs a lot less horsepower too. Whether that's realistic or fair, I'm not sure actually. We look at the tractors. We could go for the 9RX or the 9R. We could also go for a T9 or a quad track. I definitely want to go with an American version. If we go with the T9 large frame, we can go up to 620 horsepower. The 9RX, also up to 620 horsepower. So I suppose that these planters, the horsepower requirements do actually make sense, since if you look at the Great Plains, it only needs 280 horsepower for 18.2 meters, 250 horsepower for 18. Now, the trouble is that these won't fertilize at the same time, which is going to add another step. They are direct seeders, so they don't need to be cultivated. But if we're going to have to make 2 passes with a fertilizer instead of 1, that's going to add quite a bit. So if we can take a look at, see the Seed Hawk, it needs 640 horsepower, which is just absurd, because you literally can only use a quad track. It's the only tractor in the game that's powerful enough. Oh, the Challenger can actually get up there. So you could use the Challenger, the MT900E. I'd be probably more inclined to use that than the Quad Track. So that's going to cost $496,000. And the seeder itself will cost about $470,000. So we don't have the money for that. We can't afford the tractor and that. Whereas if we went with something like this, the Hudson Bickler, or if we went with the John Deere seeder, then we could use either the 8RT that we've got, or we could buy ourselves an 8400R or a T9, or really the options open up quite a bit since this only needs 450 horsepower. So we could use the 8400R with it, or something a little bit more powerful. But I'm thinking, now hold on a minute, we do have the Horse Maestro. So we could sell the Horse Maestro. We don't have to go really big. We could even go with the DB90, 27 meters instead of the 36. Although that extra capacity, wow, it's only got 5,000 liter capacity compared to 7,000 on the DB60. But it's going to be another $150,000 for the 120. But you know what? I think we can do it. I think if we sell the Maestro. So I'm just going to finish up spraying the herbicide on this field. You may notice I'm doing this at night. I'm just going to finish this field, sleep through the night, and then we'll pick up the next episode bright and early in the morning and ready to roll. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned for next time when we'll have a brand new piece of equipment to show off, and we'll get right down to business making some more money. Take care.